All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is February 20th, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. Let's take a look at the markets. All right, let's take a look at SPY, SPY. All right, so we have SPY here on, let's take a look at it on the daily chart and blow this up. Let's get some... There we go. All right, so here's the daily candle on SPY, closing below the trap, above the trend indicator. That's the 17 EMA. Lower high, lower low, having a pullback, piercing trend right here pretty well. Let me edit this, extend it right. You can see closing underneath that trend line there. So we'll see what happens here with SPY. All right, we made a lower high here. It is possible they would want a lower low. FOMC minutes come out tomorrow at 2 p.m. Maybe they want to pull it back to the midpoint. We'll see where the midpoint is. Let's take a look for the midpoint. And the midpoint is right there from this low up to this high. Midpoint is 493. All right, if we drag this out a little bit further, midpoint from there is 487 roughly, 486.75. So we'll see what happens here tomorrow. We got two red candles today. We had a bearish engulfing on Friday. We'll see what happens. There's SPY. Let's take this off. We don't need it. And maybe a pullback to this trend line right here, which would take us all the way down to about 485, 480. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ doing almost the same thing, but a little bit worse. All right, lower high, lower low, closing below trap and 17 EMA. FNGU closing below the trap, well, between the trap and the trend indicator right there. Between the trap and the 17 EMA, lower high, lower low, breaking this pivot right here, producing almost looking like it's going to have a downtrend there. Here's a 2-hour chart for all three of them. Let's take a look. We have a 2-hour cross right here, and we are in a 2-hour downtrend in FNGU. SPY, QQQ, and QQQ. So there we go with those three. Let's take a look at IWM. So here's IWM, lower high, lower low, closing between the trap and 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend. Actually, all of them are still in uptrends at this time, except for possibly FNGU on the daily chart making a lower low as compared to this low right here. So all in uptrends except for maybe FNGU. So let's take a look at QQQ, see if that's making a lower low as well. So FNGU, QQQ in downtrends on the daily chart, producing lower highs and lower lows. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Lower high, lower low, closing below the trap, between the trap and the trend indicator there. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH closing between the trap and the trend indicator, still in an uptrend. Lower high, lower low. IYT. Closing below the 17 EMA and below the trap. Lower high, lower low, big red candle down. Nasty red candle down, actually. XLF. XLF, wow, pretty healthy there still. Look at that, closing over the trap, over the trend indicator, lower high, lower low, but closing over trap and trend indicator. XLF had a nice comeback. XLK, technology. Technology, lower high, lower low, closing under trap and trend indicator. USO. USO closing inside the trap with a lower high and a lower low inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG Prints out a new all-time low, lower high, lower low, new all-time low for UNG, silver. Silver in an uptrend, but had an inside day with a lower high and a higher low. Closing over the trap and over the trend, over the 17 EMA on silver. GLD closing over the trap, over the trend indicator, higher low, higher high for GLD. So that's it for the markets right there today. I put on some QQQ, bear call credit spreads, and I'm looking at this on the 2-hour chart, and I saw head and shoulders, so I put a credit spread up here at 443 to 445. Bear call credit spread there. SPY put on some credit spreads and some put spreads. Over credit spreads, bear call credit spreads over the top here. Bull put credit spreads underneath here, underneath 489. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. 2 o'clock we got FOMC minutes. So we'll see where we go from there. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. We'll see y'all tomorrow.